Welcome, house hunters. San Diego House Hunting is here to help you as a first-time home buyer. Let's talk about all of the questions and concerns that do come up when you're thinking about buying your first home. Thanks so much for visiting. I'm Jeremy Katz with eXp San Diego House Hunting. In this video series, we're going to be talking about all of the great things that do come up when you're thinking about buying your first home and some of the challenges that do happen along the way. I'll be here to guide you the entire way, and I look forward to your questions and comments about this video. Just take a moment to reply when you get a chance if you have any question or comment. Thank you. So let's get into it. Are you ready to buy your first home? That's the first question that is going to come up when it's time to think about moving, and will you rent or will you buy? First thing that you'll want to concern with is the cost and comparison of renting versus owning. Have you made that calculation yet? Unfortunately, here in San Diego, rent is quite high, and that may mean that the value of renting versus owning could be quite a bit different than what you may think. It's important to undertake and do your research and get that information up front. What are your needs when it comes to housing? What are the costs going to be? What's the location? Real estate is all about location. And how will that compare with your potential chance of owning the property? How's your financial position? Are you ready with a down payment, with the closing costs? Funny story, I bought my first property back in 1997, and I had my down payment ready, and I was so excited, and I had a good credit score, and I felt like I was ready to buy a home. But something I didn't know, there was closing costs. Oh no! Yes. So there's some costs just to try to buy the house. So in this video series, we'll go over all of that as well. So hopefully you are ready to jump into being a homeowner. You've done the work to prepare your down payment, your closing costs, improve your credit to the best extent that you can, and you've reviewed all your financial budgets and maybe even talked to a tax professional. That can also be a good idea when moving from renting to owning. There's going to be some important benefits on owning. The ability to tax benefits, the ability to write off the interest on your primary residence. So be sure to take time to explore all that, use some of the online calculators, or ask me and I'll help you. Next, the most important thing you'll need to do is a lot of research and education about the home buying process and about what's happening in our local San Diego real estate market. I'll be sure to help you with that. Let me know about what areas you're interested in. I'll provide you the market statistics and information. I'll even send you some important facts and details on how to interpret those statistics and information that you're seeing. I'll send you a document called Steps to Home Ownership, and this will explain in a bit more detail what's it going to be like to find, win, and buy a home using myself and my team. And I'll share with you how we're helping our clients get to the cutting edge of the market, save time, save money, and a lot of heartache. Have you heard any stories from folks that tried to buy a home and had difficulty? It's not always as easy as the internet makes it seem, right? So working with a proven professional, someone you can trust, someone hopefully that you're going to have some fun with, it's going to be a great thing to go and look for and find and buy a house. So pick an agent, interview them, make sure that you think that you feel that they will have your best interests at heart. Come with an open heart and an educational oriented approach, someone who's a little bit patient with you, but aggressive to the market, right? If you're going to hire an agent, you want someone who's going to be a go-getter, someone that'll make it happen for you. And that's what myself and my team are so proud to do for you. Appreciate the chance to interview for the very important job of being your agent. The next thing you should undertake is your housing wish list. Well, in San Diego, it might be your need list, right? What do you need? Where should it be located? Are you looking for a single family home? Or maybe you're looking for something that's a starter. It's a townhouse condo. Great, lower price. You can own it instead of renting it. However, there could be homeowners association dues or even supplemental taxes like Mello-Roos, depending on the location that you pick. So start off by establishing your clear needs. How many bedrooms do you really need? Is the third bedroom really necessary, or is it really kind of a want and not a need, right? We want you to be excited about the next house that you move to. And with prices as they are, it might be a little bit difficult to get everything, of course, on your wish list. There's gonna be some trade-offs inevitably, right? And that means that location, size, and condition are your three main considerations. Can you take a property that needs a little bit of work, or do you need something that's totally move-in ready? Is it okay that the location is 15 to 20 minutes commute to where you work currently? Or maybe longer? Maybe you need a bigger property, maybe something with a yard. Well, okay. Are you willing to make the commute that may go with that property in order to fit within your certain price range that you want to stay below? So these are some of the considerations that you'll need to make, and it's useful and important to start to research the market, see what's available, and to make sure, are you looking for something that actually does exist? May sound fundamental, but it is a necessary step. I'll help to guide you the whole way. Next, let's talk about the San Diego real estate market. It's ever changing. It's often been said that San Diego leads the nation in real estate in terms of momentum and direction. Right now, the real estate market is fairly balanced with buyers and sellers negotiating rather evenly. There's rather low inventory at the moment. On the other hand, by the time that you have a chance to enjoy this video, circumstances may have changed. In fact, San Diego is full of micro markets. So even if you take an example like La Jolla, for example, there are probably 4 or 5 micro markets just in La Jolla, right? There's the super luxury trophy home market, the luxury home market, the properties that are near the beach or far from the beach. There's even the townhouse condo market, and then there's the townhouse condo market that's right at the beach, right? So each of these different sub-markets are going to have different costs and value propositions. And by the way, the same thing is true in most or many San Diego zip codes, right? So let's not only define the type of property that you want to live in, but the location of the property, get the current market conditions. What is the percentage of asking price that the average seller is getting for their property right now in San Diego? All right, so soon you'll be an expert in the economics of real estate here in San Diego, and I'll help you to get all of those facts and figures so that you can feel a lot more confident in your buying decision. Okay, next is the pre-approval process. You're going to be, as a first-time home buyer, or maybe you haven't owned a home recently or in San Diego, you want to still find out about buying. Most of our clients, of course, use a loan. Now, that may seem funny. The joke that we often say is that, hey, if I had all that money that I could pay cash for a property, I'd already own a home. Yes, of course, right? So working with us, you'll find that we have a broad suite of lender partners that we can refer you to. The main 3 kinds of lenders that you're going to want to at least be aware of are the retail lender, the wholesale lender, and the mortgage broker. We're going to recommend a mortgage wholesaler for you, right? We think that the brokers are useful, but not perhaps as highly creative, but not always the best pricing as compared to going to a mortgage bank, a mortgage wholesaler. So that's a little different than what many folks are somehow familiar with. When you walk into a retail bank, this is sort of what we would call a retail mortgage. That's often attractive, but they don't have the communication or sometimes the loan products that you need to be able to compete effectively here in the San Diego market. So depending on your situation and needs, we can recommend for you at least 2 or 3 different lenders that you can shop with and see which one's going to offer you the best product, see which lender offers you the best and most useful consultation, and which lender you like the best. After all, after you're done buying the house, what will linger for many years to come is the mortgage. So a good house with a bad mortgage, I don't think you'll be that happy. You're going to want to get the best house we can get with a really good mortgage that you are happy with, that you can live with, and that you can feel comfortable making the payment. I'll help to guide you toward that mortgage lender. There are some advantages, it turns out, in being a first-time home buyer. Did you know that? Yes, there are some down payment assistance programs, especially for first responders, teachers, and a few other kinds of occupations. So depending on you and your situation, let us know about you. Let us know about your needs and your situation. We'll turn you on to special programs from the state, from unions, from different affiliations where you can get some down payment assistance, or at least get a little bit of a discount here and there. And I'll help to guide you toward that and help you to save money, and most especially the heartache that may go with not getting access to a program that you could have otherwise been accessing. I'll help you the whole way. Next, we can talk about some of the potential challenges. Now, buying a house is an endeavor. Of course, the internet and online websites try to make this sound super easy. Well, it is and it isn't, right? When you get into buying a house, it can be fairly emotional. It can seem very daunting. And there can even be disagreements from your buy side, let alone disagreements with the seller. And those complications require some art and some science to work through. We have to work with a spirit of win-win. We have to be patient with one another. We have to learn our wants and offers, and realistically decide what compromises we might be willing to make. That's not always easy. I'll help to guide you with what's reasonable and customary. I'll consult you on your options, and I'll try to work creatively and judiciously to bring you some really cool things that can solve problems for you and help you to avoid some of these challenges. Next is the timeline. Well, we can show you lots and lots of homes, but considering inventory is rather low, generally, there will only be a limited number of homes that actually do meet your criteria. In other words, by the time we take a look at the location, the property type, the size of the property, the condition, and of course, well, your budget, there may be a relatively narrow number of properties that make sense for you. And in a way, that actually can help and simplify the home buying process. So we will show you as many homes as we can, both on-market and off-market properties. That's something that we pride ourselves in, that we can help you to get to the cutting edge of the market and find and locate a property through expired listings, for sale by owners, our relationships with other agents, and simple hard work of door knocking and phone calling. Hey, who do you know that might be willing to sell a home? And then maybe I learn a little bit about you, and I create hopefully an interesting and captivating story that may engage them in, well, helping us to sell you their house. Wouldn't that be great? So that's a lot of what we do all day, every day, and it's fun, and that's part of the satisfaction in pairing up buyers and sellers. Next, the timeline. It's going to take somewhere between 2 to 3 weeks to see properties, make offers, and get you into an escrow. Most escrows last somewhere between 20 and 35 days. Depends on if the property is vacant or occupied. Depends on the specifics of the situation. Remember that buying a house is a little different than other purchase experiences. Even complicated or expensive purchases like a car or a diamond or watch could be very different than the experience that you have buying a house, because the houses are, of course, owned by real people with emotions, with their own thoughts and priorities, with their own schedule, and those affect the timeline. Realistically, if you're getting a loan on a property, it's very difficult to run a purchase of a property right now with less than 20 days in the escrow. So it's really rather unlikely that it would be less than that. However, escrows are typically run 25 to 30 days, sometimes a little longer. Remember that depending on the exact situation and how desirable the particular property is that you select and win, that could impact by when you actually get the key, right? So it is also possible if you purchase a occupied property that the seller would have a couple extra days to move out, or maybe you might decide that it's okay if they rent the property from you for a few days, a week, or even up to a month. Now, on the other hand, if the property is vacant, most common case is that you get the key at 5 p.m. on the date of the close of escrow. Congratulations. That's a real simple case. Okay, we have a lot of resources for you as first-time home buyers or buyers that just maybe haven't bought recently, and I'll be glad to send them over to you. One of them is a document called Our Promise to You, which explains in great detail about what you can expect from us when we decide to work together. It'll share with you our details about how we actually work, the running of comparables, the provisioning of resources such as inspectors, appraisers, and so on. And also we'll include a second document that you can request, which is our Steps to Home Ownership. I mentioned that earlier. This will go in detail about especially the most important things. When are you going to need to spend money to buy the house? If that was some of your questions, I suggest that you take a look at and request and review our Steps to Home Ownership document. And of course, we'll bring that with us when we meet you for the first time, and we'll make sure to go over it a little bit so that we're both on the same page. Exactly what is it going to be like to find, win, and buy using help from San Diego House Hunting. Thanks for your attention to this video, and to learn all about our first-time homebuyer programs, tools, methods, and resources that are available to you. We really appreciate you. We work with a great deal of passion and enthusiasm to help folks just like you break into the market. It's time to find, win, and buy a home in San Diego. I'm Jeremy Katz with eXp San Diego House Hunting. Good luck and happy house hunting.